It's being called the most important abortion case since the end of Roe versus Wade. Tomorrow, the Supreme Court will hear arguments on whether to restrict access to what's widely known as the abortion pill. CBN medical reporter Lori Johnson tells us what's at stake.
As a college freshman, Rebecca Hagan learned she had an unwanted pregnancy.
There was the absence of hope. I felt desperate.
Like many women who choose abortion, Rebecca took mifepristone, also called Mifeprex. Immediately, regret set in.
Oh my word, can I take back this decision? Can I save this baby?
Rebecca became an exception as she was able to reverse the pill's effects and go on to deliver a healthy baby. With most women who take it, however, the baby dies. What's more, the mother often suffers complications, which can include sepsis or even death.
The further in pregnancy she is, the more common it is that she's going to have surgery, sometimes emergency surgery for hemorrhage, for a massive amount of bleeding, or for tissue left inside.
Back in 2000, the Food and Drug Administration approved mifepristone to be taken up to 7 weeks into pregnancy and that women be given the pill at one of 3 required in-person doctor visits. Beginning in 2016, the FDA began removing those safeguards. One change makes the pills much easier to get because in-person visits are no longer required. Another change, the gestation limit was raised to 10 weeks pregnant.
It currently allows abortion drugs to be mailed to women in their dorm rooms without ever seeing in person a healthcare provider. That's reckless, and FDA should fix that.
Tuesday, Regent Law Professor Erin Hawley will ask the U.S. Supreme Court to order the original safeguards be put back in place. Recently, she practiced answering questions from other Regent Law professors acting as justices.
FDA's own current label for the drug notes that between 2.9 and 4.6% of women, that's roughly 1 in 25, will go to the emergency room. And that was before they stripped away the in-person visit.
Hawley says FDA research conducted after removing the safeguards shows they made a dangerous drug even more so, and admits to relying on emergency physicians to treat complications.
One of the studies they discussed said as many as 1 in 8 women will need unplanned medical care after taking these drugs.
Hawley represents a group of pro-life doctors who claim when the FDA relaxed mifepristone's prescribing guidelines, it made women less safe.
And we know that the incidence of complications from chemical abortions, from these abortion drugs, are increasing.
While that creates more suffering for patients, it also weighs on pro-life doctors by putting them in the position of becoming complicit in an abortion.
And if a woman comes in who's bleeding, and she's bleeding enough that it threatens her life, and her baby still has a heartbeat, we're going to take the baby because that's going to affect, we could lose both of them. So what that does is it forces us to be a partner in the abortion process, in the elective abortion process.
Harrison adds the doctor's deeply held beliefs are violated even more now that mifepristone is so widely available.
What's happening now is people that aren't even medically trained are starting this procedure and dumping their complications on those of us who value the life of the mom and the life of her baby. And it's medically, ethically wrong.
And because of the relaxed regulations, women in states where abortion is banned or limited can get access to mifepristone.
Right now, the abortion pill is available online, and that ships all over the country, and it ships from overseas. And what's worse is that women are being told by the person who supplies the abortion drug to lie to the ER doc and not tell them.
The doctor group pushed for an outright ban on mifepristone.
As a Christian, I believe that every life is inherently valuable, no matter how small, no matter if that life is not yet born.
The court, however, agreed to only consider the issue of access, including whether women can skip the doctor visits and receive pills by mail. Hawley still believes if the court rules in their favor, lives will be saved.
So we always work with excellence as unto the Lord, but we can also count on Him for the process and the results, and we can lean on His strength and His wisdom, and so trust that to Him. And that really helps with a case like this that's going up before the Supreme Court, and knowing ultimately that God is in control.
A decision is expected in June. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Well, obviously a lot of consequences to what the Supreme Court is going to decide, so I encourage you to please pray for them. For me, the bottom line should be, let us do everything we can to protect women. If you have these pill suppliers advising them to lie to ER personnel, that shows you just how dangerous this thing is. And it needs to be done. If it's done at all, it needs to be done under medical supervision so that women's lives and physical health aren't at risk. So pray for our Supreme Court today. They're going to need guidance on the way through.